is the topic of the day this morning with big numbers, surprisingly high numbers out, even when expectations for a high number. Can we go to this question, a video question from one of our viewers here, Harry Kane?
Well, hi, my name is Harry Kane, and my question is, as we're getting into an era full of the inflation risk, so what's your suggestion for us to improve our portfolio to deal with this inflation risk? Thank you so much.
Sure. So I do agree. I think there's going to be inflation. I mean, you don't say there's going to be. There is inflation. It's happening. There's wage.
I mean, is that a debate between like business people who are experiencing rising prices and addressing it versus economists who are saying, "Oh, this is just temporary blips coming out of the pandemic"? I mean, where do you come down on that?
Yeah, I think it's not temporary. First of all, it's hard to roll back wages once you roll them up. I mean, right. You go from 15 to 12. You know, So I would say we have a new baseline in terms of wages, sort of generally. You look at every commodity price, right? New copper, lumber, make your list. Look at what's going on in energy even before the colonial, pipeline issue. Look at housing prices. Look at Bitcoin, right? Everything is inflating, and that's driven by. We have a kind of a once in a moment in history. Right, you have people emerging from a pandemic with the animal spirits that come from being locked in their homes, right? So that's dramatic. You have all of that hit. The vaccine rollout is actually in the U.S. certainly it's been, fantastic. So you have a lot of people feeling, being fully vaccinated, going back to their lives, and then you have the Trump stimulus, the Biden stimulus, infrastructure, an extremely accommodative, Federal Reserve. And everything concentrated in a couple of quarters. So that is the
Federal Reserve too accommodative, do you think?
I think they're going to have to raise rates for sure. And I think, they adjusted their policy, in my view, just at the wrong time. A preemptive policy toward inflation, I think, is a better approach, particularly in a world where we have, massive stimulus, economic stimulus.
Is it too much stimulus? I mean,
I think with rates where they are, there's a very good risk of the economy overheating, which is why I think rates go up. And really the answer to the question that your viewer asked is you want to own businesses that have pricing power, and you want to own businesses where the value of the business is not going to change dramatically if rates go up. And so, the risk to markets is, what's interesting is if you build a discounted cash flow analysis of a company, and the business generates no profit for a decade, and then, grows rapidly thereafter. A huge percentage of the value of the business is in, if you will, the residual value of the company, in your little DCF calculation. Small changes in the discount rate you use have a very big effect on the value of that kind of a company. And so that's where the kind of high-flying, highly valued technology companies that are not generating much in the way of earnings today, those are, I would say, the biggest risk with respect to rates rising. And you want to own businesses that can, raise prices to make up for their incremental input costs, whether that's labor or lumber.